we were saying this morning on the main stage, they were saying, about that human connection. We can't lose that. And we can't lose the fact that we have to listen to ourselves. I even tell my daughter, she's 16 now, but when she was younger, she would ask me, I said, tell me what you're feeling. Like, tell me what you want. How do you feel about it? I want her to be able to understand her body, understand what she needs.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me. So this panel will be all things innovation on personalized wellness and luxury hospitality. I guess to kick things off, Yana, we can start with you. If you can tell us a bit about, you're a digital transformation expert. How is that enhancing luxury travel experiences in line with Saudi's Vision 2030, especially for wellness-focused travelers?
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you, everyone. Wellness has been in our minds since COVID happened, so everyone very inspired about taking care of themselves, making sure that they enjoy their time as well. So I represent Red Sea Global. We are located on Red Sea, west side, and we cover about 228,000 square kilometers of coastal, as well as we have beautiful reefs. We have 90 untouched islands that we're taking care of, and we are having a lot of hotels, which is about 50. We have a high-end luxury hotels, as well as we have a sister destination called Amala. Amala is about the wellness, health, and rejuvenation resort, so it's ultra luxury. We have hotels like Clinique La Prairie. We have hotels like Six Senses, where they focus on biomedical, holistic, as well as the well-being. So, with having all of these hotels on board and having all of these beautiful experiences, we have to think about how do we work in digital space. As we know right now, AI plays a big role in our environment. So we're making sure that we have all of the seamless booking journeys available for all of the hotels. I think we're launching one of the first platform where you can book 2 nights at Four Seasons, 3 nights at Sun Regis, then go to the mountains to be in the Six Senses, Southern Dunes, and plus book any kind of a wonderful experience with the wellness. So it could be a walk path to the mountains, it could be a dive. We have a corallium that's coming up as well. Then we're gonna talk to you about all of the beautiful underwater sustainability that we do. So we're taking care of the corals, making sure our resorts are very eco-friendly, and so on. So for digital transformation, from the moment you book our hotel, we make sure that you will be treated as a persona and making sure all of your experiences are personalized. So from the moment you made a booking, we already know little information about you. When you arrive to the airport, we're making sure through the mobile application will be picked up specific time, making sure it's stressless and being taken care of your visit, making sure your transportation, your luggage will be at the place where it needs to be, so it's completely seamless. When you arrive in the hotel, you'll be greeted with your favorite beverages and so on. You'll be staying in specific rooms that you already knew about, because we do look at the data a lot, we analyze the data quite a lot. And then experiences, so we'll have a mobile application where you can book any type of experiences, as well as the wellness, making sure that you do yoga, making sure that you have a lot of things to do while you stay, and diverse. So, and we want to make sure you come back and enjoy your time. So it's a big resort destination, so we welcome everyone to join us, and I'm sure you will love it with the digital experience from the moment you book. So
that's very exciting indeed. We were just talking off stage on the opportunities that the Red Sea has to offer, so I'm very excited to experience those.
Thank you.
Heidi, if we move over to you, when from what Yana said, transformation and seamless personalized experiences, that's a very highly prioritized in the Maldives, and it's been happening for years to come. So I'm curious to hear your experience in how to create emotionally intelligent teams that cater to these very unique guest preferences, and also I'm sure several high net worth clients as well.
Yeah. So I think I've been in the industry a long time, and therapists kind of get to a certain stage, they don't get trained any further. And what we did at Elena is we decided that rather than constantly bring in these high-level therapists, let's train our team and elevate them. So a big factor for us is training and development. When it comes to that, it means that we can work with our teams, upskill them when it comes to things like NLP, energy healing, that intuitive approach that comes where they can just look at a guest without even reading their consultation and understand what they need. It's really important that in this wellness journey that we're taking guests on, that we put it in their way. I feel that the wellness element of our industry at the moment is only catering for a small percentage, right? And the people that are capable of that entry level. So what we've created is Wellness Your Way, where we have different entry levels of people. So maybe they want to just come in and just dip their toes in a little bit, and we can give them that offering, or we can take them further. And by our therapists working intuitively with them, it means that we know how far to take the guests. Like when we're doing our retreats, for example, and a guest arrives and they've maybe come from 12-14 hour flight, are they going to jump in immediately and just want to, right, I'm ready to detox, they're not going to do all of that. So even the first couple of days of our retreats, we intuitively work with them to say, okay, let's see how you're feeling. Let's slowly take this. Maybe the first day they're in the Maldives, they want that glass of champagne. That's okay. We'll work with that. But our food and our plant-based cuisine is so delicious anyway. They don't feel like they're missing out, So we can really work with guests at that capacity. And I feel that we'll be able to retain people more in our industry with that, and we'll be able to allow grow. Because what we saw, for example, guest earlier this year, they came and they're from Switzerland. They're like, no, we're here to enjoy ourselves. It's like perfectly fine. And so we introduced them to a few wellness activities and some workshops, which they loved. By the end of their stay, they were on a fully immersive program because we were able to give them it their way rather than forcing them into that journey. So I think all of us in the industry, we have to commit to actually developing our teams and training and upskilling our teams. And if we can give that, then we've got something that's sustainable. If we don't, you're going to have a spa, you're going to have wellness, which is only for a small entry level, and there's going to be this massive gap here. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to fill that void and trying to make it accessible for everyone.
I'm curious, for leaders in the industry who are new to accessibility in luxury wellness, what would you recommend?
In what way, sorry?
To get started.
Oh, to get started.
To consider accessibility as, you've expertised in it.
As in accessibility for the therapist? Or
yes.
Yeah. So I think really work with what they love. Like so every year we have a wellness academy, and our wellness academy offers all different types of training, and we open it up to all our therapists, but we don't force them on that journey. So I want people to work with what they energetically feel good about doing, because we have to go in with our hearts. We have to go in with a lot of open love into this program, and guests can feel it now. When I started nearly 30 years ago, it was just a massage and no one really knew what they were expecting. Now, guests know exactly what to expect. They know what they're looking for, right? So if that therapist is there just kind of doing a treatment, I'm going to be finishing at 5, the guests can feel that. So you actually need to guide your team and yourself, because we've actually been on a journey ourselves where it was a bit of Medi-Spa coming in. I'm like, no, I don't do Medi-Spa. Yeah, but look, the industry is looking for it. So I reluctantly went on this journey and said, okay, I'm going to open my mind. Guess what? It didn't work. Why? Because I wasn't feeling the energy. My team then couldn't feel the energy from me, so they weren't able. So we just said, look, we tried it. We put it to bed now. So you actually have to go with what you're really passionate about, because that passion will just instill so much intrigue with people, they'll want to learn about it. And that's what I found with when I first started in the company nearly 4.5 years ago. I said to the team, we're going to embark on wellness, and they went, I know nothing about it and I can't do it. You know, we're going to do sustainability projects. No, can't do that, don't know anything about it. I said, that's okay. I said, follow me. And I started as a leader. Every time I visit my teams, we do yoga, we do wellness activities, we do sound healing, we do something together. We do sustainable projects together. I get involved with them and then they follow. So industry leaders, you just need to go with what you're passionate about. Don't follow a trend. And then it will work.
I hope audience members are taking in this wisdom. Natthida, over to you. So you're a bit more local to us in Dubai, and you know you've been with the Banyan tree. I'd love to hear how your journey with the brand has influenced the wellness approach for the company as well. Talk to me a bit more about that.
Right. For me, with the journey with Banyan tree has been incredible so far. Funny enough, the story is I started my first career in hospitality 12 years ago with Banyan Tree Bangkok as a spa therapist. So I know exactly what I needed to say. You know, that's the only thing that we do. But with Banyan Tree, and go back to support what Heidi says, that the therapists need to get trained and refresh the knowledge and stuff. If you're in the industry, you would know that the spa therapists of Banyan Tree would get trained around 650 hours before you can actually serve the guest. And it's not just only, 40 treatment that we created, or you just, know a little bits of here and there, but it's the full guest journey. For me, in hospitality, in the spa, 5-star luxury hotel, it's the journey. It's not the guests that coming in and then get the treatment, and then, we know our therapist is great. You will get a good treatment. But it's the whole journey that the guests have to go through. So after I step away from the brand, gain more knowledge and experience from other brand, now I'm coming back. It feels like home. I can see that the brand still keep the identity, and it's in our industry, I always think that we need to love what we do to be here for a long time. I'm in the industry for 12, 13 years. I've learned basically, from massage, try to go to medical, and that was not me, it might be from someone else, but yes, you actually go through that process to learn what's new thing. Wellness trend is never stop, I think I'm in the right industry, and you can see a new things all the time. But I would like to remind everyone who in the industry, first, know your clientele. You can't grab every single one that on the market. Yeah. And then you keep your identity. What you're already good at, keep developing them, because that keep your guests. To bring a new guest, you spend a lot more money and time to get the new client in. The guests that you have in Banyan Tree Hotel now, we have 60% is our regular guests that actually coming in day to day. And word of mouth is the best way to do marketing in this market. That's why you have a lot of people post on Instagram, you believe in people, I would believe in your friends, and you tell me this place is good, I would go there. So that's how my journey with Banyan Tree so far. And with our hotel, we, as Banyan Tree as a brand and the company, work around our well-being pillars, And I find myself truly connected to the wellness, as of now, like you said, pandemic, first department that closed, you can't touch the guests, everything. Everyone was depressed, but for me, I probably get the most productive year ever. I try to focus on myself, bring me to the present, and try to do what best for me at the time, right? I know some people doesn't have the privilege of get some new things to do, but I was like, okay, I need to calm down, still got a job, and then, do what I always wanted to do. Since I was graduated and start working in hospitality, I never stopped. So that was the year that I get to stop. I gained myself a certificate from IIN, which is Integrative Nutrition. I start doing meditation and yoga on day-to-day and until now. So when people speak about meditation or wellness, it's not just only, a gimmick thing that people do. It's not just a trend. When you keep practicing, that's how you actually incorporate into your life, and you can actually see the benefit out of it, right? So Banyan Tree, I think my lifestyle experience align well with the brand. So the brand's working around the well-being pillar, which is mindful, groundedness, practice, rest, movement, and growth, right? So we ensure that the guests who come to experience or stay with us get at least have an awareness to start off of their well-being. Some people doesn't even know what meditation is. I can't sit still for 3 minutes too long for me. So they get a taste of it and they know what benefit they could have get, right? And then they can go to retreat and then practice more. And I totally agree that you cannot force people to just go directly in. You got to be healthy tomorrow or this minute. When you gain that knowledge and the experience and you get used to it, you enjoy it, then it's sustained. So then your experience more enjoyable. Yeah, so I think that's my takeaway.
Recently, we had the privilege of working with Natthida on the Banyan tree. The Banyan tree here at Blue Waters, we worked on the spa, the full renovation, and it was fantastic to create something that's an urban resort in Dubai. It's always, you have to draw a lot of the essence from what the guest journey is. So when you look at a journey, right, we try to create we look at our guest, the customer, and their journey through from when they arrive at the spa, how they walk, how they're greeted, and how do they go through that whole journey to when they have actual treatment, what kind of treatment is it. So the whole experience is very important. If you have a great treatment, but the enveloped environment isn't on par, then you dilute that treatment experience. So for us, it's working very closely with the wellness brand, understanding what their goal is. So it's not just a bunch of treatment rooms put together. It's creating that beautiful journey. So we work very closely. All the senses that you interact. It's the sight. So lighting levels. How does that affect you? Materials, the right choice of materials that work well, the tactility of the material, and all the sense. So you have to capture all those aspects when you go through. And of course, on the spa wellness operator, they will look at smell, the audio. So it's a curated effort. We as designers, we work on one part of it, but it's a whole journey with a team, and that whole journey has to work. So we look a lot into context, whether it's here. So right now we've just opened a spa in Mauritius for one and only. It's a Saint Geran. It's run by Guerlain. And we had to, we created something totally new. Then they said, "This is great. Why don't you come try something else?" Because I think our job is to create something new, but at the same time not elevated to a point where the guest experience is, is not synchronized with the wellness. So it's very exciting, to be part of this whole growth, getting into well-being, mindfulness. These are all, I think we're at a very early stage. There's so much more we need to do. And you mentioned accessibility. That's so important, right? So I think it's exciting to hear this happening, and with so much happening in the Middle East, it's just amazing. And sustainability is part of it as well. So that's now coming into play. Wellness, sustainability, all those aspects are very, very important. So it's just great. We have some fantastic projects we can work on.
You mentioned, you've got bases in several regions. What do you think Dubai could learn from, leaders in Dubai could take away from your presence in Singapore or Bangkok in terms of opportunity and potential?
I think training is very important. You've got to have great therapists. You train them well, because one bad experience and your guests not going to come back. So that's so important. So everything that was spoken, really. So that's one part of it. But I think from a design standpoint, being contextual. So if I'm a guest coming to Dubai, or I'm in, we're working on a project in France, right? So it would for Six Senses, and even that, so there are two different contexts there. The experience is different, but you have to go and understand who is your guest, what are they looking for, how do you elevate that, So it's so much more than. So I think if you're trying to do what we do, I think it's important that you do a lot of research there and learn from experts, and go for it, passion. Right? I think that's kind of where you go from.
I think passion is definitely the common denominator on this panel. Yana, as you know, you're on the transformation side of Red Sea Global. Is there how is design prioritized? Is there a user experience in design? You probably are looking at it from a very different perspective, building a landscape in a new place. So is there, I'm curious, is there an overlap or intersection of transformation digitally with, thinking about user experience, personalized wellness, and also design, and creating these journeys for our guests?
Hello.
Fancy.
I think we are, as it's been mentioned before, sustainability is a huge factor for us. So we're making sure that we use less time that people waiting for the cars, making sure that all of the seaplanes are built on ecosystem that is not hurting the environment. We are building, so every hotels that we have connectivity. For example, we have a lavender walks as one of the experiences that attracts a lot of bees, and those bees only live in Saudi Arabia. And it's just the whole ecosystem around it. It becomes amazing, and it's something new that not a lot of people. We build our own gardens, and we also get engaged with the local farmers to make sure that they bring this to our project. So it's very sustainable. As far as technology, I think it's been mentioned before, the lighting, the smell, the sense which goes inside the hotels and resorts is very important. For example, one of the hotels we have Aquanox. Aquanox is one of the brands from US, and they do have your room set up as per your personalized for you. Like, they know you come to the room at specific time, they know that it needs to be dimmed, they know the smell is this, they know how to open the shades, making sure, like, it's absolutely amazing experience that is being taken into the consideration nowadays. And the future, I think, for the digital transformation is about learning the data, AI, personalized experiences. Let's say we not necessarily can track people on the resorts, but we can understand how they interact with us, and we can, for example, refer them for more experiences. So it's very AI, personalized driven experiences that without you even booking it, that could come to your mobile application. You can see in your, like Google now, everything you search, it comes back to you, and you have all these recommendations. So it should be very, very seamless journey for the digital world for us. So. Yeah.
That lavender walk sounds lovely, and I think it's a great example of what Rengy was mentioning in terms of sensory experiences.
Yeah.
I think as a consumer, these like little initiatives go such a long way, and it really shows the priority and the impact that a property and a company is trying to make. I'm curious, along the same lines, Natthida, Heidi, could you share with our audience some sensory experiences that you have executed? Go.
Hi. So with Banyan Tree, so we call it's our Walu, we call our hotel sanctuary for the senses, and the spa I will explain it's the same way. So when you go in, Inside our spa or in the hotel, every single day we have sense of the day. And it does bring Southeast Asia or even Thailand's coming into. So those senses that we have in each day are changing, either lemongrass, orange and clove, and all these kind of things. That when you walk in, you get that uniqueness. Like when you walk into some shop and people recognize the sense before you actually, that linked me to the brand. So it's the same thing. But for us, it's also create the ambience. And then when the guests walk in, that kind of like you step into the zone that you leave the other world behind. So that for me to put thing into the senses for the guest experience way.
Beautiful. From our side, we have a lot of treatment experiences that have that, but something that's quite unique is we do workshops every day. So those workshops are all sustainably linked, but they're also very much linked to the different senses. So just the other day, I was at one of the resorts and my team was doing a lip scrub workshop. So using things that we get at home. So you've got obviously all the different senses that you're using there. Your smell. They were like, but I can eat it. I'm like, yes, it's actually fine because it's coconut oil and sugar, and So they've got all these different. I mean, we're bringing the senses alive throughout the workshop, but they're learning as well. So guests are really loving that element. But I think another side of it is very important as industry leaders is that we look at the entire guest journey, like you were saying about the guest journey. From the minute they walk into the spa or facility, that what they're seeing is perfection, what they're smelling, everything they're experiencing, what they're hearing. There's nothing worse than being in a treatment room and some music that's going on and you're like, this is not balancing me, so giving the different options of music in a treatment so that the guests can then start to relax. And the different senses I love, because we had that when we stayed in Banyan last year. Actually, every time we went into our room there was a new scent of the day, and it's beautiful. So yeah, it just, people want to learn new things, people want to be connected in that way.
It's sounding like we really need to get in with our R&R side. It's a perfect weekend opportunity. I guess to wrap things up, Rengy, you probably have a lot of technology and innovation ideas that are propelled at you in your line of work. When you look to the future, is there a approach or innovation that you think could really define luxury wellness?
I almost think that wellness is a lack of contact with technology. So that's the way I view it. I mean, you want less of technology. So all the technology that you have should become passive, and I think AI is the way forward, where the guest is understood prior to them coming and having a treatment. So you customize that. So if we can use technology for that, where it's passive and it's not in your face, because if I go to a wellness resort, and I had a friend who just went for a whole yoga retreat for a week and away from everything, because they had to just remove themselves from technology because we're all prisoners of it, right? So I think that it would be a great goal to have, where technology becomes relevant, but entirely behind the scenes, and and it's used for lighting, adjusting lighting, food preferences, scent preferences, customizing the experience, but not in your face. I think that's probably the greatest step forward. Other than that, I want to stay away from tech. It's not about being conservative or traditional. It's the purpose of that journey. You're going there to remove yourself from everything that clutters your mind, and all that clutter, that stress, which we all of us assume we can handle stress, but the reality is our body is taking the toll. So removing that for a period of time, and if you can do that effectively, I think you've really done something valuable for you out there. So from tech, for design, technology is always there, but that's not the guest never sees that technology.
Truly, I think that's one of the major primary perils of modern day society, how we try to escape life and its challenges and go into a tech-free zone. Natthida, I'd love to hear the same on you. What approach do you, or maybe innovation or lack thereof, do you see defining the future of personalized wellness?
Yes, I think everyone's talking about AI. I mean, it's fascinating to see that Saudi step into that zone of going very high technology. And yes, Reggie said the same thing, that in the spa it should be a bit discreet. Our guess, especially in Dubai, I'm talking about Dubai markets, that people doesn't like to be bothered so much. They just want to sit down, I'm ready for my treatment, and then go. So AI step in to help that quite a lot. Everything is technology. You do consultation through online, or even we keep your profile in the back, and then when you come back, you don't have to do it again. So the innovations, I think everyone's talking about that, the technology. But to looking at the trends moving forward, I would say wellness travel go hands in hand with transformative travel, which I think that's big areas of Heidi's expertise. But then also you can't ignore that wellness travel with kids. That's a new trend as well. We have seen a lot. Our hotel is basically, family hotel. So we wanted to see parents do activity with kids, and it's not like, oh, you go full meal plan. No, it's just something fun. It's create connection between the family. So if you're in the hotel industry in operation, that could be the way that you're moving forward. Because now these days, kids have not just wanted to have fun. The parents also wanted to create the knowledge and then get them into a bit of a wellness. You will see more yoga with kids, or kids yoga, or meditation with kids, or something that's a bit more fun with the family. So I think that could be one of the trends, a part of AI is that we are actually talking about it a lot this year. Thank you.
Heidi?
I'm probably on the other end of the spectrum. I never have my opinion is not so popular. I'm kind of on the other end when it comes to technology. Yes, I agree there should be some technology in the back end, but I'm not a fan of just constantly looking at, let's see what the watch is telling me. I have to stand up, I have to breathe, I have to sleep. I want people to learn how to reconnect with themselves. So we very much focus as a team. I will always keep to that level of tradition with anything that I do, because for me, I want people to feel again. I think, we were saying this morning on the main stage, they were saying, about that human connection. We can't lose that. And we can't lose the fact that we have to listen to ourselves. I even tell my daughter, she's 16 now, but when she was younger, she would ask me, and I said, tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what you want. How do you feel about it? I want her to be able to understand her body, understand what she needs. Unfortunately, what's happened is that we're losing that. Because we're relying on something else to tell us. I mean, we're doing a menopause retreat next year, and ever since I embarked on, let's start looking about menopause, what everybody's doing now, everything's menopause over my everything, every social media platform, it's menopause. But the problem is there's so much information out there. Now I'm so confused, I don't know what to do anymore. So we're going to have a retreat to get all that out in the open and discuss it. But the biggest thing is that it's so confusing that I want people to go back and say, but what do I need as a human, rather than what is this telling me? So, not always a popular opinion, but that's the journey that I like to take.
It's important. Yana?
That's where a seamless journey comes in. You don't have to watch your phone or watch anything. That I'm with you. Less tech is possible on your resorts and time. Your own time with your family. So that's where we come seamless. Before even you visit, you can already be set for a wonderful experience without watching, because you have your agenda, you kind of know where you're going to be at the specific time, and then the staff and the whole journey is going to be seamless, putting you into the places where you need to be, you need to go, and so on. So I hope with the new technology that becomes super seamless, you will enjoy it more.
That sounds beautiful.
And everyone else. So
that's wonderful. As a guest, this all sounds utopian and lovely to me. So I'm excited to experience and seeing what the future of personalized wellness holds as well. I think we have a few minutes for any burning questions from the audience. I'm sure they can connect with you off stage, but thank you everyone for letting me pick your brains on this very intimate conversation. Yana, Heidi, Natthida, Rengy, thank you very much.
Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.